Luke Daniels knew there was a saying among mountaineers that reaching the summit was but the halfway point. Hard as hell to do, no question. But once you were at the top, the job wasn't over. Not until you made it back down to base camp, safe and sound. Then and only then were you finished. And while this, his latest assignment for the Magellan Billet, a simple escort job across the Spanish border, was no mountain climb, the metaphor definitely applied. He'd successfully completed his mission yesterday and was now headed home. The problem? In staggered formation, the two dark sedans behind him had matched his last 4 turns on his way to the airport. They'd also kept their distance, like 2 fighter pilots flying on his wings, and making no real secret of the fact. Dawn was still 2 hours away, so Monday morning rush hour hadn't yet begun. The 4-laned median highway was largely deserted, though having never been to Lisbon before, he had zero idea what busy meant there. All he knew was what he could see, those 2 black sedans, and whoever was inside them, behind him. A mile or so ahead, he spotted the twinkling of the airport runway lights and navigation beacons. Base camp. Almost there. His options were to either make a run for the airport or find out more about his inquisitive friends. He decided on the latter. Why? First, the soldier in him didn't like being stalked. Army Rangers were the ones who did that, not the other way around. He was a former Ranger, and it was the principle of the thing. Second, he had no idea what these people wanted. Were their intentions hostile? Were they armed? No way to know. But he couldn't risk gunplay at an airport crowded with innocent bystanders. The downside, though, was that he was unarmed. If it came to a gunfight, he'd be little better than a bystander himself. To top it off, he was sleep-deprived, grumpy, and not looking forward to a 7-hour flight in coach across the Atlantic back home to D.C. You would think the United States government could spring for business class for its intelligence officers. But that wasn't the case. He took a moment to glance at his phone's map, then speed-dialed the Magellan Billet's operations desk. The line clicked open and he said, "I have followers in 2 cars, parties and intentions unknown." Then he rattled off the MGRS coordinates. The billet often coordinated with U.S. military assets, so it used the Military Grid Reference System, which was accurate down to 3 feet. He knew it well. Back in Afghanistan during his Ranger days, knowing your exact location meant the difference between calling in a Hail Mary artillery barrage and a helicopter evac for a gravely wounded comrade. "Are you requesting support?" the voice asked. "No, but put me on the clock. 60 minutes. After that, come looking." He ended the call and glanced in the rearview mirror. The cars were still there, now only 100 yards back, staggered like a pair of hungry sharks. "You want to play? Okay, let's play." He stomped the gas pedal, gaining 20 miles per hour. Then, at the last moment, he swung hard right onto the upcoming exit and accelerated again, taking the curving off-ramp as fast as he dared. Behind him, the 2 sedans were skidding to a stop. He smiled. His pursuers had been caught napping and overshot. The downside? Now they knew their quarry was onto them. Almost certainly their tactics would change, perhaps becoming more aggressive. At the bottom of the ramp, he tapped his brakes and glanced left to make sure he wasn't going to T-bone an unsuspecting motorist. The way was clear.